Good evening, students. I am your mentor Vishesh Saxena. Today we discuss another important topic of economics is banking. What the banking is all about. It plays a very important role in the economic development of a nation. It provides various employment opportunities. It is very helpful in the form of finances from small scale individual to a large scale individual. It assists in the economic development, economic growth of a nation. What basically bank is? It is an institution accepting deposits from the general public and advancing loans according to the needs of the individual. In India, the banking structure and the development goes through various phases. In the 19th century, three more banks came: Bank of Madras, Bombay, Calcutta. Later that, it merged into Presidency Bank in 1921, and after that, in 1955, again it is known as State Bank of India. In the year 1935, the RBI came into existence. It acted as a major regulator of all the banking sector in India. In the year 1969, major nationalization of the banking structure take place. So, stages by stages, the various process and the economic development is being taken place. If we understand the simple definition of a bank, we must break up into the certain parts like accepting deposits, institution, providing loans and advances. This is all about the definition of a bank that we break up into the certain parts. Now, further elaborating this topic, we must go and understand about the types of banks. What the different types of banks. First is central bank. Second one is commercial banks, private bank, industrial bank, Exim Bank, SIDBI, Small Scale Industrial Development Bank of India, and current Mudra. Now we go into detail of all these banks. What is a central bank? Central bank is all about, it is the regulator of the whole banking structure. Each and every country has its own central bank who maintains all the responsibilities regarding the monopoly of note issue. It acts as a custodian of foreign reserve, advisor to the government, and maintaining all the work as a part of the regulator, managing all the banking structure, prescribing rules and regulations at how the bank operate. In India, the RBI is our central bank. It issues notes from rupees 2 to maximum denomination of 2000 rupees. RBI printed the notes as a proportion of the minimum reserve system. Under RBI, 200 crores maintained as a reserve for proportion of printing of notes and all. It also issues monetary policy for managing the inflow and outflow of credit and all. So it is the apex bank who manage all the banking structure as a regulator, as a controller of credit, functioning and advisory to the government. Next is all about the commercial bank. What the commercial bank is all about? It do same banking functions as comparison with other banks, like accepting deposit from the general public, advancing loans according to the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Next is private bank. What the private bank is all about? When India adopt the policy of opening of economy in the year 1991, liberalization, privatization, globalization, it invites foreign players in our economy. So more and more invitations of the private companies establishing in India. So the private bank is all about the foreign banks coming in India, taking the permissions of the RBI, like Standard Chartered, HSBC and all. They have to maintain their certain compliances, that a minimum capital requirement around 250 crores. They have a banking experience around 10 years. All these provisions regarding the RBI for establishment of any bank in India, they have complied all the formalities. Next is industrial bank. What the industrial bank is all about? For the development of any nation, industry is being required. For setting up a large scale industry, we require finance. So these banks all about the development banks like IDBI, IFCI, they providing loans for the setting up of an industry for a period of 15 to 20 years. These banks play a very important role in the economic development of a nation. Next is Exim Bank. Exim Bank, what the meaning is? Its meaning is Export and Import Bank. Establishment year is 1st January 1982. It advances the needs of the exporter and importers for the economic development of a nation. Next is SIDBI, Small Scale Industrial Development Bank of India. For a country like India, small scale industries play a very important role. So for advancing their needs, SIDBI play a very important role for the economic development of these industries. SIDBI, its headquarters is in Lucknow. Establishment year 1990. Now the next Mudra. Mudra, it's all about in the year 2015 on April, 8th of April, for giving assistance to the smaller entrepreneur who have a business idea. Our Prime Minister initiated this bank, Micro Unit Development Refinance Agency, in the form of various schemes like Shishu, Kishore and Tarun. Up to 10 lakh rupees loan is given to the various peoples who have a business idea without any guarantee, so that they can develop themselves as an entrepreneur. So these are the various classifications of the banking in India. Central bank, it is being the regulator. Other banks are being doing different activities as per the requirement of our economy. Now we move towards the further parts. What basically the types of banking accounts. Types of bank accounts. First one is fixed deposit account. Another one is current deposit account. Current deposit account. Third one is saving account. And the last one is recurring deposit account. What are the various types? We know fixed deposit account. Fixed deposit account in which up to 6 months, maximum 5 years, an individual can deposit his money for a certain purpose. At the end of the maturity, he receives money with interest. Current deposit account is basically for the business individuals. They can withdraw in a day many times. As a business progresses, the bank increase the limits of the businessman so that up to this limit he can borrow the money for the expansion and the development of his business. Third one is saving account. Saving account is done basically by the normal individuals opening an account. In the case of the private banks, minimum limit is around 10,000. In the government banks, minimum saving limit is you have to maintain is 3,000. So it is being opened by the normal salary class individuals for opening their accounts, invest their savings and all. Next is all about the recurring deposits account. What the recurring deposits is. In this type of account, an individual normally invests a certain amount of the stipulated money, and after a certain period of time, he receives an interest whatever the corpus that he saved. Now, further elaboration in this topic, we studied about central bank, what the central bank is all about. As initiating the topic, the central bank is all about that the apex regulator managing our economic system. In India, the RBI is our central bank. The principal functions of the RBI is that printing of notes, advisory to the government, custodian of foreign reserve, controller of credit. These are the basic functions that the RBI do. First is printing of notes. In India, from rupees 2 to 2,000 rupees, the publishing of note is being by the RBI. Second is it is being an advisory to the government in financial matters. Third thing is that it is a custodian of foreign reserve. Whatever the foreign reserve in the form of the foreign direct participation we receive, the current foreign forex reserve is maintained by the RBI. Next one is the controller of credit. It maintains the credit system in our country by through monetary policies. What is monetary policy is all about, we know in our next topic. Now we further discuss another topic in this part, monetary policy. In our economy, RBI publish the monetary policy. In every 2 months, RBI publish the monetary policies, controlling of credit, expansion of money supply in the economy. By through the various system, the RBI control the monetary policy. First is repo rate. What is this rate? Repo rate is that rate in which the RBI lends money to the commercial bank. Reverse repo rate. In this rate, the RBI taken the loans from the commercial banks. Next is CRR, cash reserve ratio. What this is all about? The bank have to maintain a certain amount in the form of the percentage from their total deposits. Next is SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. It's all about a certain form of percentage in liquid security in form of golds and all that the bank maintain. Thank you all for kind listening and patience. Thanks.